Right, so let's kickstart the session by diving in and see what is happening on the US oil. So on the US oil, what was our expectation as at yesterday? Where were we as at yesterday and what were we looking at? Well, let's scale up to the daily time frame and let's see what is happening from an holistic standpoint, after which we are going to be scaling down to the lower time frame to see how um, we are going to be taking advantage of any potential opportunity on the US oil for this week. Well, on the daily time frame, it's obvious price action has been on a bullish momentum, and as you can see here, we were able to connect the series of higher lows here to give us that resultant bullish trend line, which has been guiding price action in the last 2 years. Now, if we zoom into what is happening since the month of May, I was able to connect the series of higher lows here to give us that resultant bearish trend line, which is also a significant structure that we will be using to guide our action. E level we identified on the $86 mark, and since then price climbed up into the $94 level, and since then price came back to do a retest to structure, after which we saw buying pressure right below the $86 level before we witnessed the significant breakout of the $86 mark during the later part of last week trading session. So now if we zoom into the current structure, what I mean by the current structure is the previous impulse leg till this moment, that is the scenario here. We saw this impulsive move that broke out of that key level at the bearish trend line, and then we saw this retracement phase back into our golden zone area, followed by buying pressure right below the $86 mark, leading into the breakout of the structure. So at the beginning of the week, what we were looking forward to was to understand how participants in this market is relating to the current structure around here to determine if we are going to be going to the upside. So at the beginning of the week, we said we are going to be waiting for price to either come back and do a retest of the key level here, which also lines up with the bullish trend line we identified earlier. And this is going to be followed with buying pressure on lower time frame right around the $86 mark before we want to be thinking of a bullish momentum. So with this information we've gathered here on the daily time frame, the next thing we want to be doing here is to look at the current structure here around the key level to decipher what is really going on in the market and how participants are actually relating to the current structure here, and if we are going to be seeing buying pressure from that level to take advantage of a bullish momentum. So in that regard, we scale down to a much lower time frame like the 2 hours time frame, for instance, to be able to see things more clearly on what is going on at that juncture in the market. So right now we are on the 2 hours time frame, and what did we observe here, and what was our expectation as at yesterday? So as at yesterday, we were around this point yesterday where we were around here yesterday, and we saw buying pressure since the beginning of the week. Price started the week at around the $88 mark here, and since the beginning of the week, price has continued to find lower lows and lower highs. And what I said here yesterday is that we want to remain patient to see how the participant in this market is going to be relating to the $86 mark. In fact, what we want to be seeing around this area is a reversal pattern that will be supporting a trend continuation to the upside. And if we take into consideration the previous impulse leg, which I was able to identify and show you yesterday, so we had this impulsive move that moved to the upside, and I said this bearish momentum we see here is likely going to be a retracement of that impulse leg. And what we said is that we want to see how far this retracement phase is going to go. And what we did to guide our action is to identify the buy zone area, project an area where we want to be looking forward to buy an opportunity. So when we brought our Fibonacci retracement tool out, we were able to look at somewhere within the 50 and the 78.6% of that previous impulse leg, which we identified as our buy zone. And this is exactly what happened during the course of the New York session yesterday. We saw our price came into this demand zone, that is the buy zone here, we saw buying pressure from this level, and the key level area appeared to be the structure. We're going to be looking forward to buying right above that structure. So on the 1 hour time frame, we saw our price broke out of the $86 level to signify that the buyers appear to be um, coming in at this point in the market. So we saw multiple rejection of that buy zone area right below the $86 level, with during the course of the New York session yesterday, to signal that we might be getting ready for the second wave of the bullish momentum that started a couple of weeks ago. So this is exactly what happened right now, and for those who took advantage of this move, kudos to you for being on standby to take advantage of this move. And right now we are running with about how many pips in profit right now? We're running with over over 120 pips in profit. So I think 140 pips in profit at this point. So the next thing we want to be doing here is to secure our position by moving our stop loss accordingly to either protect our position, lock in some profit, or we could move it to break even to protect our position against any sudden pullback that is likely going to be happening, considering the bearish momentum we've been witnessing since the beginning of the week. So now, with the current structure we have here, what is our expectation for today? What are we going to be doing during the New York session today? And for those who missed out on this opportunity here, let's see if the market is going to be presenting us with a second chance to take advantage of this potential bullish momentum that we have identified here. So looking at the current structure we have here, I was able to identify a structure. Okay, we identified a structure at its $7 mark. Remember, at the beginning of the week, price was caught within a consolidation phase right within the $88 level and the $87 area. Though we had a breakout of that structure, then price came back into the $87 level, came back into the $88 level. So you can see how this area has been a consolidation phase since the beginning of the week before we witnessed the breakdown of the structure. So right now, price has climbed right back above the $87 mark. So currently, price is within the channel that price was caught within during the early hours of this week. So we want to see how the participants in this market is going to be related to this channel. So most importantly, what I want to be seeing here to be joining the bullish momentum is a significant breakout of the $88 mark. So if I cite a breakout of the $88 level, well, we don't want to get too excited at the sight of such a signal. We want to remain patient and wait for price action to give us further confirmation in the form of a retest of structure followed by buying pressure on lower time frame. Then we could actually join the potential trend continuation to the upside. So this is what I will be looking forward to. And like I said, move your stop loss to lock in some profit for those who took advantage of this move yesterday. So let's see how the market is going to play out in the next 24 hours. Move your stop loss accordingly, and if we have a breakout of the $88 mark and a retest of structure happens, be getting ready to add more position to our existing trade. And if you are not in this trade yet, this is more or less an opportunity to join the rally to the upside. Well, I actually shared something on my TradingView platform where I said if a breakout of the $87 level happens and a retest of structure happens here with buying pressure, we could actually add one more position to our trade. So this is exactly, we can actually use this too as a leverage, but to be on the safer side, I will be suggesting that we wait for a significant breakout of the $88 mark, since we're already in this trade already and we don't want to be caught up in any unnecessary position at this point. So let's wait for a significant breakout of the $88 level, retest of structure, then we could join the trend continuation to the upside. So that is my view on the US oil for today.